Over here in the upper right location, our first of 2 Terrans, finalist in previous GSLs.
SC for you.
Oh, yeah. And now, wait, not now. We're going to zoom in on his face. Tace is getting ahead of himself.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Tace.
I need to slow down here. Now in the opposite starting location, a player who showed us a very good Terran versus Zerg. He's very well-rounded and has his own style. We have...
Select down.
You weren't quite as excited for that one, were you?
No, I wasn't.
You can tell it's GSL July, Tasteless.
Yeah.
It's a water park.
It's a water park, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pepsi and G-Skill, for making this event possible.
Do you ever go to water parks, Tasteless?
I have never been to a water park in Korea.
No? Have you in USA?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never been.
You never been to a water park? Why not?
No, man. I just...
You mean like, we were talking about one where you get like in your swimsuit, right?
Yeah.
You got basically what is actually a bunch of series of slides. They try to make them different things, but it's actually a bunch of slides.
Never been to one.
They're not bad.
Oh, I'm going to have to try one.
Yeah, you got to go down and date to the water park, Artosis.
That's what I got to do. Well, before it picks up, Tasteless, I want to tell everyone, go ahead, add us on Twitter. I'm Artosis. He is Call Me Tasteless. Also add GomTV. Tweet at us. We like it.
Yep.
Hashtag the GSL and everything you write about all the time.
That's right.
Let's just have it trending all the
Be
time.
like, I got my tonsils removed. Hashtag GSL.
Yeah, man. That would be awesome.
Yes.
All right, so SC making a factory and a second gas. No second gas for Byun yet, but a factory. There's that second gas I was just talking about. And there's the gasless factory I was talking about. So there you go.
Yeah. Now, it's cross spots. Like every matchup, we basically casted today. So, could be pretty long, especially for Terran versus Terran.
It's a long day, Tasteless.
Yep.
It's a long, long day.
Be a good day of casting. Now, we see a quick start board coming up here. Looks like one of our players has opted to take a second gas. That would be SC Boyu.
Yeah.
Zenex Byun is not taking a second gas, at least not yet. We do see a lot of players, and in this case, Zenex Byun is going to be one of them, taking a command center over here in the back of his base. That expansion is very accessible and hard for the opponent to get to.
And it looks like we will see probably a Hellion opening here from Byun, but maybe also Banshee. And of course, that is exactly what we're going to see, a Banshee opening from SC. With Cloak, no doubt.
Yeah, well, he got the second gas, so...
And, it is actually going to just be a Banshee opening from Byun as well. Interesting. Just a delayed Banshee opening. Reactor is just to get more and more Marines. That's going to definitely help him out against the Banshees of SC. Kind of like Byun's opening.
Yeah,
he's going to be able to get a Raven pretty easily.
And he also is getting one Viking. He actually might not get a Banshee. He actually might just get a Viking and then a Raven.
Yeah, especially if he actually sniffs out or finds the Banshee of SC. Wow, that was a bad Hellion.
That was bad. Is he am I dead? Nope. Am I dead now? Okay, all right. Just making sure. And this will be the later expansion here from SC, as soon as he has the money. Now look at this. There's a scan there. Let's see if he makes the Raven.
If he goes blind Raven right, I'll be so surprised.
What?
Banshee.
Banshee.
And we do have this Banshee on the way. Cloak, not yet done. Raven, the Viking in the wrong position for Byun. It is above his natural. So as that comes down, he's going to want to pull it down, bring his Marines over, get a good scan off. I'm sure he'll make a Raven right away as well. And look at that, already getting a turret at the expansion.
It's good. Banshee on the loose here. Got to be careful, though.
Yep, getting a good amount of kills. Nice micro by SC so far. Realizes what's happening.
That's not the end of the world if you lose these Marines. It is if you start to lose the SCVs. So
yeah,
this is very good defense here by Byun.
Right now, SC is expanding behind this. Byun making plenty of turrets. Looking pretty safe overall. And no Raven started yet.
I do like Byun's builds whenever I watch him. They're very different. You can see he sort of thinks them out himself.
Yeah, definitely. He doesn't do a lot of cookie cutter builds, that's for sure. Of course, that gives him an element of unpredictability. Yeah. But it also means his builds won't be quite as tight as some builds.
He's
the tried
no textbook builds.
Yeah. The more common your build is, the more likely it is to be very textbook. Or rather, the more textbook is, the more tight it will be.
Spit it out, Joseph. Now I like this. He's attacking from 2 different angles here.
Just a couple kills on this Banshee. There is a Raven on the way. Or actually, there was a Raven on the way for SC. But it has been canceled. Because there was no cloak.
All right, both these guys staying on 2 base. Byun has taken a somewhat of a lead for this phase of the game. Somewhat of a lead.
Just a little bit. Up 11 supply right now. 66 to 55. Those are both multiples of 11.
Yeah. That is true, Artosis.
I know. I know math.
I think he might just try to take a third here, Byun will. I mean, he's basically defended, and, you know, he's done enough damage with his own Banshee harass, more than his opponent did.
You know, they have almost the same exact units, but 43 SCVs to 33 with Byun in the lead.
Pretty big difference.
Yeah, so SC has to figure out what to do here, and in fact, he lays down his next command center before Byun, and Byun right after. So both guys having...
Might as well be the same time here.
Yeah, may as well be. But SC has to kind of get something done. 10 more SCVs is actually going to result in a huge net profit for Byun.
All right, Marines, siege tanks, medevacs moving out. And it does look like they're both basically going for some of the Marine siege tank style that we've seen here.
Not quite as cool as the mech style we saw.
I think it might be not bad for this map. This map, the architecture of it's a little bit weird. Nice little snipe there by SC. Kills the SCV, making the orbital, and then leaves.
Well,
combat shields on the way here for
kind of a
SC.
Slow moment in the game as both players can't really do too much to each other, but Byun deciding it's time to move out a little bit, see what he can do, if that is in fact anything. No combat shield start yet for him, but he does have stim already.
Yeah, right. Interesting game so far. Second factory coming here. He'll probably just use that to get more siege tanks. And Byun, rightfully so, is the first one out here on the map. Although I gotta say, SC, actually, if you look at the supply difference, he's catching up very quickly.
Yeah, he's definitely, I would say without a doubt, he has better mechanics than Byun.
Yeah, I think so.
Byun is much more a strategic player, a thinking player. We do have Byun, as he moves out, puts up this first sensor tower, and that makes perfect sense.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I didn't even mean to do that.
But when you did it, you know, you got to go with it once you do something like that, Artosis.
But again, it makes perfect sense because it's going to allow him to know if he's out of position against any drops or anything. And you see a nice little cloaked Banshee attack coming in by SC, and a stim and scan.
Nice by Byun.
Ooh, just damaging a lot of Marines.
Once he heard stim, he should have ran.
I think they'll catch him.
Think so?
Yeah, man. They got their stim going.
They're stim Marines.
They're very quick.
They wouldn't have caught my Banshee.
No?
No. Because I would have been flying it.
Yeah. Flies quicker for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason.
You press the gas pedal harder.
Yeah.
Tasteless like floors it. No, you can't floor it in a Banshee, and Tasteless gets away. Then every Banshee would start flooring it though, Tasteless. A bunch of daredevils probably explode.
That's why I don't fly my Banshee when I play StarCraft 2. I'd mess up the metagame.
Yeah, you would. Destroy everything.
Well, here's the problem for SC right now. Byun is in really good position. He's actually about to be in between the 2 Zundaga watchtowers that are in his opponent's turf.
Yeah, I mean, he's got an okay number of siege tanks for now. We do have the same number of siege tanks, in fact, 5 for each. Byun with just a little bit more Viking. But the Raven is in SC's favor, so that will make him win Air Wars.
Uh-oh.
With the point defense jump.
Our SCVs are under attack.
SC's SCVs are under attack.
As you guys can see here. Now this is pretty smart of Byun. Byun's going to back up. He's not entirely sure if he can take that off. Backs up a little bit. No, excuse me. He's going to siege up now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is SC doing? He's got to be careful here. Nice siege right there. I like that. Doesn't have to be too crazy about it. Doesn't have to line up too well. It's way cost inefficient to attack into that when he has the Watchtower. But Byun, well, both of them really have their bases mining. Byun is up quite a bit of supply, though. It's up 13. And suddenly, Byun, only 58 SCVs against 55 of SC, so as we were saying earlier, SC, the better macro player, keeping his SCV production up. Definitely a mistake of Byun. He should have kept it up a lot more.
He must have forgotten a depot here or there because he should have a bigger lead than this.
Yeah, he should have tried to keep up by, you know, he's up 11 SCVs. If he could have kept up 11 SCVs, that's a big deal. Well, now it's going to be a lot of positional base play. As we see, it's kind of mirrored. We have both of the sensor towers.
I thought for a second he was going to go in a little bit closer. Sorry, Joseph, please go ahead.
Well, Byun definitely has a better position on the high ground, has a little bit more supply. Would love to see him expand quicker here. And we do have quite a drop coming from SC, but it's going to go through a sensor tower that he knows is there. And a Marine's even going to see it. So
the element of surprise here for SC just not there.
Byun even has a nice little turret ring around his base. So that drop would have been ill-fated anyways.
Vikings going, like a Marines run faster than me. I have rockets on me.
They have stim tasteless. Don't be silly. I hate it when you're silly tasteless.
Essentially, when you stim, you can actually run faster than a spaceship.
Yeah.
Just point that out. All right.
The lower guy at Blizzard is right now quickly, frantically looking through his notes, figuring out why that is.
Well, it's the medicine in the stem. It's the good stuff. Now, here's a funny thing: is Byun's actually doing a pretty good contain here, and it's actually going to turn into a hard contain. He's making sensor towers and turrets.
That's beautiful, actually.
Well, it makes sense. He's had this up for a while. He's like, oh, you know what? He's not really going to, get out of here. And as I say that, he opens up the rocks. I don't think he'll still get out of this position, though.
Well, here's a few things. Number one, SC can move around a little bit, as he is doing. He's trying to, just moving around here and there, testing where Byun is. Byun, though, making a huge amount of siege tanks. Byun can take his fort, but the one thing that I would love to see from him, hold on, let's look at these siege tanks.
What's he doing?
The one thing I would love to see from him is some running around with some drop ships. We don't see that too much. And I don't mean just dropping, but like what he's doing right now with this little group right there.
Yeah.
He's got to go around. He's got to make sure there's no other expansions. He's got to be careful about all of these awesome sensor towers. And Byun is taking his fourth. So the one thing that we do see sometimes in TBT during this situation is, for instance, SC, our Red Terran that's a little bit trapped, might decide to add a ton of barracks and just steamroll out.
Yeah.
Like just break the contain and get into his own good position.
Oh, you should get the medevac.
It does get
This is just
down.
not looking good for SC. It's been a fairly passive game. Basically, I think Byun's build was better. And then SC's like, oh, well.
Wouldn't it be amazing if SC, after playing so great recently, were to go to the up and down? That would be amazing.
Well, it's no shocker. Nobody seems to stay on top forever at the GSL.
No, man, certainly not.
Oh, nice.
Look at this.
Try to get some siege tanks here.
Split. Byun trying to kill what he can.
Oh, my God. Byun's so good.
Wow. Right now we have for Byun 17 siege tanks against the 8 siege tanks of SC. Wow. I don't even know what to say, man. SC is like in a terrible spot. I'm trying to figure out how he can actually win this.
And look at this. He's so short. He just runs in here, says, all right, let's trade some more units.
Yeah. SC just way out of position with everything. His siege tanks in some area that doesn't matter at the moment. Look at this. Byun just actually
Dude, what just happened? What? All right. Well, Byun's killing a ton of SCVs now. SC is a complete wreck right now.
Well,
look at this. That's perfect. You just go up there, you shoot down the siege tanks. These are like units that are not even really replaceable usually.
5 siege tanks to 15. Well, he's doing a huge drop on the side. We'll see if he can actually do anything with that. My thought is no. Might kill one base with it, and then be like, oh, well.
Oh, I'm going to lose this game.
I guess I'm dead anyways. GG.
Uh-oh. Now he knows. Oh, man. Talk about nil element of surprise coming from SC.
Yeah.
This is actually the most disappointing Terran vs. Terran I've ever seen from SC.
Yeah, Byun doing a really great job this game and holding that off. SC, I don't even know what he's going to try from here.
He's going to shoot down the medevacs.
He might, man. One of them does go down. Wow.
Wow, man, this game is. We're actually commentating this, Ro32. This is
happening.
This is my reality. Is that this is what SC looks like in this Terran versus Terran? I think he might be a bit fatigued from the MVP Terran versus Terran.
He might be, and but I have to hand it to Byun. I was talking about this a lot recently. Well, hold the phone. We do have SC trying to break out. We'll see GG here because he's down to 72, 69 supply. GG.
GG, Byun way outclassing SC. Wow. Jeez, man.
Yeah.
That was actually a little bit scary.
Byun just raffle stomped in that.
Byun is kind of a badass. Kind of.
Well, SC wrapped up his keyboard, going to the up and down matches, not happy with himself, obviously. Foyu's star player. If he were to fall into Code A, Foyu would be distraught. I think actually any pro actually fell into the up and down as well. Yes, I do believe so.
Well, I mean, this just goes to show you how much more competitive this is. And look, Byun is not a guy who I expected to be in good shape at this point in the tournament.
Why am I pointing that out?
I wasn't going to say anything or toast.
I
just
know,
move
man.
on.
Well, I was thinking about Marine King Prime and now any Pro Prime. They're both in up and down every year. So. Anyways. Let's forget I said all that. Let's talk about something else.
Well,
let's talk about that game and why Byun absolutely
deserved to win. It was the build at the start.
Not only that, but man, he made a lot of siege tanks. And as we've been waiting for since the release of the beta, a lot of siege tanks in TVT. I think a lot of people, especially StarCraft 1 people, knew this was coming. Siege tanks are just too cost effective. When you start using them really well, they're too good to use.
They are.
A ton.
And, you know, they could punish a player if he runs in there and he tries to attack, he runs out, not at the same time. But also note, Byun, what was really good about him in that game, there was a moment where he spilled in there with Marines and just shot down each of the siege tanks. He's like, all right, if I take out 3 siege tanks, it doesn't matter if I lose all these Marines, and he did it. All right, guys, we're going to go to a quick break here. So don't go too far away. We'll be back with more games here at the GSL.